DIY.
Ryan Leslie on Sway Universe. He's talking about his successful career as an artist and a music producer. One of the stories that he shared was about his rock bottom moment.
Okay, Ryan Leslie, when the last time you been broke?
When
did you hit bottom? Last time you hit bottom?
That's a hell of a question to segue into, but shout out to Sway.
Man, right after college, man. Right after college.
Okay.
Right after college, and it was crazy too because I hit the rock bottom after my boy got signed. So my boy Corey Lateef Williams, he had gotten signed with Hawk Islam and Kedar Massenberg. We went to Chicago recording studio. We did the album, and then there was, as usual, there were delays in the release of the album. And, I got paid as a producer, maybe $10,000 a track. That was the most money I'd ever seen for music, maybe, somewhere between 4 and 7 tracks. And I thought it was great. And then I realized, man, that's no money. And I ended up basically homeless in a garage behind a barbershop in Randolph, Massachusetts, man.
What?
In a garage. Used to be homeless behind a barbershop. Like literally, walking across the street to eat, shoplifting crackers. You know what I'm saying? A Harvard grad. And,
At 19?
He was still
19 years old, Harvard grad, looking like you are on your way to having a successful career no matter what you do, right? He found himself in a situation as he's pursuing a career in music where he was literally homeless and staying at one of his homeboys' places. Really crazy to hear. Listen to this next part, though.
You were still in crackers.
Yeah.
See? Ryan Leslie was a thief. Yeah.
Straight up, and ended up on my father's couch. And my dad, basically said, wow, we worked our whole lives to get you into an Ivy League school so you would be straight. And, they also worked their whole lives as Salvation Army officers, which meant that they sacrificed financial gain here for what we would call treasures in heaven by actually, serving other people. So they really looked at me as, hey, when we get to that age, we sent you to Harvard so you could take care of us. And obviously I'm able to do that now. But at that time, my father was getting a little apprehensive. But he made a deal with me. He said, look, Rye, if we're not going to believe in you, who is? What is it that you need? And I said, look, I need, this keyboard. I need this computer. I need this software. And he maxed out a credit card that he got in the mail, and he made a deal with me. He said, look, I'm going to max out this credit card, and you got to make me a deal that, you pay me back double within 5 years, but there's an insurance plan for that 5 years. You have a year to try to figure out how you're going to make it in music, and if you don't, then you got to apply to law school, and law school is 3 years. So when you get out of law school, you should, after you actually are gainfully employed, you should be able to give me back double.
That's a very unique deal. It wasn't a deal that I was given. You know what deal I was given? You better listen to what I tell you, boy, or you better go find yourself somewhere else to go figure it out. I'm not going to have nobody sitting in my house all day long. All of us, I'm sure, have different experiences when it came to our parents, and how involved or how much they weren't supportive of your music career. He's sleeping on his pop's couch, and his pops gives him a proposal. He's like, look, you want to make a career in music. Okay, how about this? I invest this credit card, max it out. You get everything that you need, from the computer down to the instruments, down to everything that you need, and I give you a year to do this. It comes with a little bit of a stipulation in that I need you to pay me back double, and you go to law school. By the time that I'm expecting this money back, you should be graduated from law school and in a position to pay me my money back. But as I started to kind of think about this now from the vantage point, not just of like artist or producer trying to make it when I was younger, as I think about this from a dad standpoint, and if my son came to me with the same aspirations, that seems like a way to speed up the process, to help that get out of your child's system or to catapult them to become exactly who they said they wanted to become. Can you imagine the kind of energy that you move around knowing that you got a year to make this work? You have all the tools necessary. You financially have that backing. Just go make it work. And if it don't, you still got a bit of a safety net. Not all of us was given that same opportunity, but I kind of feel like for the parents out there, they're concerned about their child making a very unwise decision. If you max a credit card out, let's say that's $25,000. You probably are saving them, in this economy, $50,000, $70,000 worth of investment over the course of 20 to 30 years to finally figure out, it's not really what I wanted to do. Silly me. I was just going after my dreams. It's almost like some reverse psychology in a certain way. DIYers, I almost lost this YouTube channel negotiating with a scammer posing as a potential sponsor. Because of that situation, I would love for these videos specifically to be absolutely sponsor free. Consider joining the official DIYer Patreon at patreon.com/Curtis King. For as little as $5 a month, you can get access to all of these live streams that these clips are created from in its full entirety. We also have other tiers that allow us to meet every single Sunday. Come join us at patreon.com/Curtis King. With that said, back to the video.
In any great story, serendipity plays a piece. And the late, great Ed Woods actually called me up maybe about 4 months after I got all my equipment. And he said, yo, man, I got an internship for you in New York City. It's unpaid. It's 30 days, but, you know, come on out here and let's see what you could do. And, man, that was 2003. The rest was history.
The rest is history, man. Ryan Leslie. So I wanted people to hear your story so they know where it's coming from.
For sure.
Something interesting happens, man, when you are met with an ultimatum, or you put yourself in a position where you say, this amount of time I am allowed to go all out. This small window, it can make legends out of certain people, and it can also make realists out of other people. Folks who finally figure out, you know what? I didn't really want to become successful at music. I just wanted to be popular. I just wanted to be accepted by my peers. You know what? I just really wanted to prove to my parents that I could go after something that wasn't their desire, but my desire, and make it work. There's a lot of folks that I talk to through consultations that are within music that I can tell it's a different energy that is pushing them than just the music. And it's a reason why a lot of those same people stay stagnant, because they didn't really get into this for music. The kind of conversations you have with them is very rarely about the music. It's really about the non-believers. It's really about their disgust of their job. It's really about all of the outside factors. I applaud not only Ryan Leslie for making something happen. I mean, obviously he had more security than most. I wonder from the pop's perspective, how much was it intentional, in that if I just front the money, I get rid of all excuses. Because then you know that you have been given the best of the equipment, you've been given the time and the space, which a lot of parents will not give the creative that is living in their house. Oh my God, all this loud music inside my house. You got the time and space to make whatever music that you want to make. And through that year, he was able to land an internship that ultimately catapulted him off, and I'm sure he was able to pay his dad with a little bit of interest on that credit card. You either gonna make a DIYer superstar, independent superstar, mainstream superstar out of that musician, or you're gonna get somebody who says, you know what? This was a $20,000 lesson that is going to change the trajectory of the rest of my life. I didn't really want to do music. It was just something that was cool in my 20s. Interesting stuff. Shout out to Ryan Leslie. Those are my thoughts. What do you guys think, though? DIYers, if you enjoyed this content, make sure that you hit the like button and maybe even consider subscribing. Come on, man. Stop being greedy. Peace.